What's going on, y'all? How's it going? It's your boy, Big Country Mud Cat. Come back at y'all with a video. Before I get started, I'm going to load my lip in with some Grizzly Dark Wintergreen. Now, I've talked about this before, my life story and everything, and I always end up deleting it after I get through with it. But I'm not going to do that. So once I'm done making this video, it's going to stay up here. All right. And if you don't want to watch or hear me talk about my life story, go watch something else. All right. Without any further ado, let's get into it, y'all. Most of y'all know me as Big Country Mud Kid. That is really my nickname, no joke. But my real name's Tracy. Pretty much, there's not a whole lot that I can sit here and tell you about my life. The only thing I can tell you is stories I've heard. Uh, my mom got my biological father. And while she was, pregnant with me, my dad's favorite thing to do was drink when he was off work or when he had, days off work. And he couldn't mix alcohol because it always ended up in the hospital. Just messed him up real bad. And he liked to smoke Mary Jane. But he always made sure that me and Mom's was taken care of because we were his main priority. He became best friends with a guy named David Mann. And he made a deal with him, and my dad basically told him, said, look, man, if anything ever happened to me, you step up and you take care of my wife and my son. And my dad died May 2nd of 1992. 6 months after I was born. Well, 5 months, I should say. But anyway, apparently from what I've heard from other people was he was racing his stepbrother, and I guess his stepbrother nudged him. And as I was going around the curve and he nudged him, freaking car flipped, threw him out the window, car landed on top of him. Paramedics brought him back to life, but he ended up dying yet again. And he wrecked my mama's Toyota car. And his side of the family was grabbing his clothes, boots off his feet and everything. Wouldn't help us. His mom, Mert, was mad because she couldn't get no money. Just all kind of things. But David stepped up, did what he was supposed to do. But November 16th of 93, my sister was born. And when she came out, he's like, I'm gone. He didn't want no girl. He wanted a boy. Found out it was a girl, he left. And that's just stories I've heard. And it wouldn't have nothing to do with, his daughter. My mom had to pay him or screw him for something, for him to do something with his daughter. Just tell it like it is. And, I did spend time with my real dads, mom and dad, even though they had split it up, probably long after I was born or, before. But every time I spent the night over there, it just didn't feel like home. I always had to hear them badmouth, my mom and family, and supposedly had an incident where Mert was married to John. Now, John looked like between a Mexican and an Indian. That's just how dark he was. Apparently, he molested my daggone sister. I don't know fully. I don't know the situation. Don't know what happened. Couldn't tell you. But I don't really know them fully. The last time I ever went to see any of my real dad's family, I was probably 16, 17 years old. And I called up one of my cousins on my dad's side. I'm like, hey, Bo, can I spend the night with you? And he's like, and my real dad's family don't really know me, dude. They just think I had an anger problem, but we'll get into that later on. But none of the case, long story short, they said, if you lose your cool, I'm going to whoop your ass. I said, the day you lay hands on me will be your last. I said, you don't know me. Left of that, and I went to spend a night over there, I think, and we played a couple games on the GameCube. And that was that. But it didn't really feel like family down there. I just felt like an outcast. They denied me, don't want nothing to do with me, that kind of thing. And Mert used to live in Stillwaters. Now she lives over there near Roanoke and Woodland. Don't know if they still do. Yeah, that was the last time I ever saw them. None of the case, when David split, my mom was child support, then my dad's life insurance. Something happened to him that went to the funeral, and the mother to the wife, I should say, to take care of the son and her. But my mom got with Roger Dale Jordan. I was probably anywhere from, I don't know, 18 years old, maybe younger. He wasn't no good. He was a drunk. He was an alcoholic, a drug addict, and an abuser. And I remember everything that happened like it was yesterday. I remember us driving to Kalijah's so he can go play bingo with somebody. I remember he worked with somebody named Clyde, and at his house he had a pond. I used to fish there a lot when I was a kid. And it was crazy. I remember my mom, her things to do was have people at her house to play poker, get drunk. Well, us kids, like the boys stayed in my room, the girls stayed in my sister's room, and while the adults did their thing. And she liked to gamble. She liked to play quarters. Now, I ain't talking about the drink quarters where you take a quarter and try to hit the shot glass and another person drinks. No. I call it quarters is because, what's going on, man? How you doing? I call it quarters just because instead of chips, you use quarters. You put it in a pot. If you win the hand, you grab the quarters. You know what I'm saying? So I call it quarters. And I remember my mom would go into convenience stores or the bank and get a row of quarters or take the money, like $20, put it in the quarter machine and spit out $20 worth of quarters. And she'll go to different places, to different people's houses to play quarters. Now, my mom had a friend, Nancy Hanley, and she was married to Wayne Hanley, had 2 kids, Nancy and Marie Hanley. Marie and Junior Hanley. And Wayne Hanley, he was about the same as Dale Jordan, a drunk addict, drug addict, an abuser, abused his wife and everything. And, my mom would have Nancy come over and she'd go off and cheat on him or have guys brought over to the house of Scrooge just to go back to Wayne. And they didn't live in a great house, it looked like damn house was falling to pieces. And I spent the night a couple of times at their house, even though my mom wasn't allowed. And it was something else. It was crazy. But yeah, I remember my mom, even liked to play bingo. And I remember her coming home from one night, and Dale Jordan says, all right, I'm trying to put it politely as I can. He wanted her to take off her pants and panties to see if a guy nutted in her. You know what I'm saying? And she didn't do it. he'd slap her. And, my sister get involved. He hit her. And me being a kid, I didn't think, I didn't do anything. I just reacted. And the first thing I did was got on top of this guy and put him in a chokehold. And we couldn't drop him off nowhere. Like, I remember my mom would leave him in Elk City and dart on home. And he'd come back and the abuse would start again. I'm talking about this. I can hear it to this day. I'm getting goosebumps just telling it. Just bow, flash hitting on flash. It was just crazy. I remember going to Elk City jail, him wearing that damn orange jumpsuit and, the damn gum, I don't know what you call it, plexiglass, bulletproof glass, some type of damn glass. And you had to pick up a phone because it was soundproof. You couldn't hear what they were saying unless you picked up that phone off that receiver and talked. And remember going to the fairs a lot and stuff. But it sucked. Now, he had a brother named Scott. Scott cleaned up his life, became a pastor. But his, Dale, he remained the daggum same. And he had a son named Patrick. I don't know why this dude decided to live his life the way he did, but it is what it is. But, we couldn't drop Dale off nowhere. He'd get drunk, he'd piss in the food cabinet, piss in the bed. I can't tell you how many beds we went through. And I remember in the master bathroom, we had a mirror behind the tub. And he broke it because he thought he was trying to get out the window and piss. And I remember the cops getting called, and my mom would hide him somewhere like in a dryer. I don't know how the hell he fit in the dryer, but he got in the dryer. And I remember the cops looking for him. They couldn't find him because my mama hit him that well. Hell, I remember my mom, every time she'd try to cops pull her over to give her a ticket, she'd say, "You better act like you're sick, boy, so I don't get a damn ticket." Really? But ended up going to a mental hospital. And what a mental hospital is like going into an emergency room, right? But it's not an emergency room. It's in Opelika, Alabama, right next to the Checkers. Can't miss it. Big old building. You go in the emergency room, and you sign your name, you wait till they call you, and they call you back to have you stripped butterball naked, except for your boxers or your tidy whities, whatever you prefer to wear. And that's what they call a suicide watch. Make sure you don't do anything stupid, and if you don't, you get your clothes back that you came in with. And they'll check your blood, draw your, check your temperature and all that good stuff. And when they get ready to call you, you got to be put in a wheelchair. I don't know why. They just put you in a wheelchair, and they take their badge, and they scan the lock they got. And I remember this black lady, she scared me in my sleep. She was a sweetheart, though, but, she was a big girl. And she'd wake me up in the middle of the night, dude. Just, "Tracy, wake up." And it just made me flinch. She had to draw blood work. And I remember walking in there, had a foosball table here. You had about a room size like this, but it was just solid white, brown carpet. Had a security camera at the edge of the corner creeks. Let me see if I can't turn this around and show y'all what I'm talking about here. Like right here. Hold on. Well, there you go. Right there. Like right in this crease of the crack wall. It'd be right there. But that's where they had a security camera and they watch you, and they call that the timeout room. All right. And one room is where you sit down with a doctor. My doctor was Peter Lucian, who diagnosed me with everything. And another room, you had it where you go to counseling. They had a board. It's like a little carpet, not carpet, but some type of fabric. with emoji stickers like angry, sad, whatever, and you would take that emoji and place it on angry, sad, or however you was feeling. And then you had another room, which was a school room slash, hang out, eat your lunch, whatever. I ain't gonna lie, what I liked about the place was they gave you a menu. You get to choose breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and your snacks that you want to have in school and after school. And then around lunchtime, if you was good and you earned enough points or whatever it was, lunchtime after lunch you get back 30 minutes to lay down in your room and play Game Boy or something, which was pretty cool. And then they had a Nintendo 64. The Nut House was the first time I ever played Pokemon Stadium on the 64. And you get to make phone calls too, like you can call home or what have you. But yeah. And I remember my mom and Dale would come up for a visit one time. I'll never forget it. When she was getting ready to leave, I didn't want her to go. And I remember like 3 or 4 nurses wearing white with just tennis shoes. Took 3 or 4 of them jokers to pin me down and sedate me, where they take this needle and they right in the hip there and sedate you. It was crazy. And from what I've heard from my mom was Peter Lucia told her that my brain was off balance, right? There were normal things that normal people would do that I couldn't do and vice versa. And there's things that I would do that a normal person would never do. And I got put on disability, and I also got, was on medication. I saw Peter Lucia monthly, and I went to therapy at the school and Opelika and Elliott City. And I went into several, medications and stuff. And Peter Lucia, every time I saw him, I walk in there, they weigh you and everything, and he'll tell me, all right, stay at your tongue. And go, don't know why. That's how it was. And when I was going to school and, getting counseling done, I didn't feel like talking much about my problems because I remember this one counselor, Miss Freeman. I remember talking to her about my problems, and after I left the teacher, not the teacher, but the therapy, I was in the principal's office. Right here is counseling, and there's a door that wasn't there and leads right there to the teacher's lounge where they do their break, Xerox papers and what have you. Walked out and went to the right, and counselor's talking my problem about the teacher to the teacher. So, kind of broke my trust. And I was getting real messed up with the medication because, I was starting to get a little paranoid. I was getting where I was hearing voices. I was drawing a circle with a guy holding the spiky hair, holding a sword, blood dripping off of it. I was gaining weight. If anything, it just made everything worse, right? It just made it worse. And when I would go to therapy, it was hard for me to try to talk about my problems because, I couldn't trust nobody, didn't know how to say it, right? I was more the type to act out my emotions versus, talking about them, And, when I was home, I remember things getting so bad to where I was cutting myself, punching myself in the nose to make it bleed. But I'm pretty sure my cousin broke my nose when we was playing Power Rangers. But yeah, it was difficult. Or I would try to say how I felt, and I was told not to. It was crazy. And I remember Dale and his friend, what the hell is that dude's name? It's like a chick's name, kind of. Sharon. Shannon. That was it, Shannon. He would take my bike and sell my daggum medication to get money to buy beer and his drugs. And I hated that, man. I really did. And I never saw my mom work until I was 16, but we'll get into that. But I do remember her getting, notebook and adding up the bills and seeing how much she got left. And of course, my mom was a smoker back in that day, boy. Let me tell you, her favorite damn cigarettes, damn smoke was them damn menthol light 100s. All right, the little white box. She wouldn't get the pack; she'd get the box. Don't know why either. And I remember her, the drinking, the bingo, and all that stuff. But after Dale, and I got set off a lot. I remember we had a substitute teacher. I don't forget what grade I was in. Teacher had left, and I had already gotten up to sharpen my pencil. And I look over, and there's like 3 or 4 black guys betting money who can kick my butt. And this black guy, I got up and put me in a chokehold, and I just got through sharpening pencil. And what I do, I stabbed him with it. I got sent off for it. I pretty much got sent off all my life. My mom, I think my mom was messed up, dude. I don't know from what, but I remember her going in my room, taking my toys and stuff I won at kids bingo. I used to play kids bingo at the VFW hall back in the day. Kids bingo was awesome. You get to play all kinds of games, win prizes and stuff. It was cool. But anyway, my mom would just get pissed off and throw all my stuff and break it and everything. And I remember that master bathroom, the cold water knob was broken. You had to use pliers to turn it. And my mom threw the pliers at me. She threw a cigarette lighter and busted me in the mouth. I had blood. And remember riding in the passenger seat, and I don't forget what I did to piss her off, and she just took her hand and just backslapped me, busted me open. And it got to where, she couldn't whoop me, so she'd send me to my uncle's. And I got to where I was scared of my mom because she would literally take my feet, swift me off, my head hit the ground, swing me by my feet, then let me go, and I'd be on the porch just shaking uncontrollably. And after Dale left, she got with Randy Highsall, and he's no longer with us. He passed away, I think, a few years back. And she met him through Yahoo back in the day, like when you was playing spades and stuff. That's how they met. And one day, just up and left, went and moved to Tupelo, Mississippi, right there next to Red Bay, Alabama. It was like you stick one foot here, you're in Alabama, the other foot there, you're in Mississippi. And lived there for, a couple of years or so. And he worked at a dog food plant called Sunshine Meals. And I went to the factory, saw how they made the dog food and all that stuff. Went to Chuck E. Cheese's, went to the water park, did some go-karts and stuff. But Randy, he was a drunk. And I remember him slapping my mom and me getting in the middle of it, and all hell broke loose. I remember something happened where I bit him and he bit me back, or vice versa, but it happened. Again, my mom wasn't working. My mom never worked until I was 16. She worked at Walmart TLE for a year or two, and then she quit. But I think for the most part, my mom just slept with men to make money, or been with the man just to support her. Because I never saw my mom work ever. I remember the first time I ever got literally beaten as a kid. I'll never forget, I was 12 years old, and me and my cousin was playing dodgeball. And how we played dodgeball was different from school. The same rules applied, but instead of using that daggum soft, squishy freaking volleyball, whatever the hell you want to call it, we used a basketball. Yeah, we played rough. Anyway, I remember having that ball and I was getting ready to throw it at him. And when I let that ball go, he stepped to the side, and I think my cousin Cameron was like a year or two old, and knocked him flat on his butt. And he was crying, and I'm like, oh, dang. And I flew, I ran to the house trying to explain to my mom what happened. Before I could even say it, my uncle and my mom sitting there, fist just hitting me uncontrollably, kicking me. And I'm on the floor, just curled up in the fetal position, couldn't do anything. After about what seemed an eternity, let go. And, my cousin explained what happened. And my uncle handed me $5, and on my 13th birthday, he took me on his mail trucking job that he did. Went to Atlanta, toured up at, I don't know if they still have it in the Atlanta, but in the McDonald's, they used to have the old classic type seats from old cars. I don't know if they still do to this day. I'm pretty sure somebody let me know in the comments below. I remember even having to hide myself in his truck so his boss couldn't see him. But heck yeah, it was crazy, man. And then I remember Tommy Baker. My mom got with him not long after, and had a son named Eddie. And again, it's like every guy my mom got with, if it wasn't physical violence, it was verbal violence. If it wasn't that, it was plates or something else getting thrown. And I remember, Tommy was like wanting to marry my mom, and he asked us kid, my sister and I, he could marry mom. I said, I don't care, but if you hurt my mom, you'll answer to me. And I meant every daggone word of it. And I remember I got sent off to Three Springs, Tuskegee, Alabama for juveniles. And when I got out of the joint, I had to literally get changed into clothes my mom then brought me so we can go to the American Legion and Booger Hollis so they can get married. I grew up in a church. I was going to my grandmother's church. She was Baptist and Sunday school teacher. And my mom was a Pentecostal church, and I went over yonder. And I remember getting my hind end tore up outside the church with a switch and said if I didn't dry it up, I was going to get it again. And I remember this girl, Starla Harris. She was the type of girl that break up with me a week, get back with me when she had nobody else. And the only thing we did was kiss and make out. And I remember her grandmother, Carol, drove us back to the house. I don't know what happened to our vehicle, but Starla grabbed my hand, tried to put it down her skirt or whatever. And I'm like, hell no, I ain't doing that shit. And Starla, I don't know what the hell was wrong with her, but every time she would try to talk about committing suicide, I would literally stay on the phone for hours trying to talk her out of it. But yeah, I was sent off all my life. I've been to several times at the mental hospital. They can only keep you 2 weeks. I think I remember getting sick and they told me to go home and get better and come back. I never went back. I think the last time I went to mental health, I was 16. And the reason why I went to mental health, it was my own choice. And I don't like getting sent off, but I chose to submit myself in the nut house. And the reason is, Mom and Tommy would always fight all the daggum time. And I remember Tommy had a damn, it was either 78 or 89 Dodge truck. All right. And I'm in the back, and they're fussing. I'm like, if y'all two don't stop, I'm gonna jump off the damn truck. And Tom's like, oh, that bastard ain't gonna jump off the truck. My mom's screaming and hollering, yeah, he will. And I'm guessing this truck had been doing 40 to 50 mile an hour, maybe 55. And I jumped off the back of the truck and I'm freaking running backwards. So back of the head hit the asphalt. Got my back scraped up, went to the hospital. I was fine, just had a bunch of bruises. And I remember, Tommy, he let Eddie get by with a lot, his son. But if it was me or my sister, freaking, they wouldn't have it. I remember Tommy wanting to whoop me one time, and he's sitting there freaking grabbing my arm, slanging me. I'm on the freaking ground fighting him, and he took the belt and just started freaking smacking me all around. And it was crazy. I put up with so much daggum abuse, that's unreal. As far as my relationship, my mother goes, we don't have a relationship, I don't think, because last year she denied me. My sister, too, took me off Facebook. Didn't hear nothing from them until, a couple months back, my uncle collapsed and they had to airlift him to the hospital and he had a lesion on his brain. He had cancer. Gave him 17 months to live. And that was the last I heard from her. I ain't heard nothing else since. Because I couldn't talk to my mom about my problems. Because she'll either get mad, hang up the phone, cry, make me feel like the bad guy, and I always have to apologize. Just wasn't about it. Yeah, she's checked me out of school and told me not to tell your sister we went out to eat and all this stuff, and she'll do the same thing to my sister. Yeah, she got with men that done things for us. She didn't do it. The person she was with did it. There's a daggum difference there. And Christmas, she didn't really buy us anything for Christmas. It was a school when they did the charities. And I remember the freaking big, freaking daggum lawn bags that you put leaves in. Those type of bags, like 2 or 3 of them filled with Christmas toys. I don't think my mom did any of that. Just like my mom never taught me how to drive. I think I drove her twice and she just quit, saying I was scared of her when I wouldn't do anything wrong. Or how about, she's taken me fishing a couple of times, but I really wasn't close. I wouldn't tell my mom my problems. I'd always talk to my cousin about it, But every guy my mom's ever got with, it was always abuse to a degree. And, I stayed to myself a lot and, getting sent off a lot. And when she was with Tommy, I don't know why the hell she decided to be so ignorant and dumb and stupid and making a poor choice and trading in a trailer that just needed fixing up, a patch for a brand new trailer they couldn't afford. The master bathroom had 2 showers inside of it. It was a huge one. Garden tub with jets, fireplace. I fell in love the first time when I was 16. I was hell over heels for this girl. She went to the doctor, dentist. I skipped school just to see her. And I'll never forget the one time she was going to the dentist or going to see a doctor. Or her sister was going through trimester. I don't forget what it was. I skipped school. And one of the teachers, saw me, knew I was skipping school. And I literally walked until I got somewhere. And I remember finding a Playboy magazine. I picked it up and I stuffed it in my shorts, whatever, pants. I remember a daggum Keith police officer pulled me over, told him where I was going. And I gave a fake number to my mom's phone because I didn't want her knowing what I was doing. Didn't feel like it was any of her business. Or I wouldn't think it. But anyway, Keith said, "What's that in your pants?" I pulled out Playboy. And I could have swore Keith sitting there driving looking at this Playboy magazine. I'm thinking, oh, God, we're going to die. Made it to the hospital, Russell Hospital, that city, and, talked to my girl and all that stuff, hung out. And I remember on the way back, I think my mom called my phone or something saying, "Where am I at?" Screaming and hollering, cussing at me. And I'm being calm, I'm like, look, I just skipped school. Kristen was in the hospital. I just went and freaking ditched school and went to go see her. Right? And she wanted me to empty my pockets, empty whatever I had on me, because she thought I had a gun was going to kill somebody. That's how little faith my mom has in me. Skip school just to be with a girl that I'm trying to support and love, and you want to do that to me? Look at all the stuff you've done. It's crazy, whatever. My mom, it just, I don't know what to think of. I just don't. My mom didn't teach me how to shave, didn't talk about sex. I found out sex way before was able to. I remember sneaking in the freaking daggum room and finding a freaking VHS tape, put it in there. There it is, pornography, and all kind of toys and stuff she had. I remember she was saying that the damn vibrator was a fucking back massager, and that my grandmother used one too. That put a lot of thoughts in me. I was having oral sex at a young age. I was doing stuff I had no business doing as a kid. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't. I always end up getting in trouble. My mom caught me five knuckle shuffling myself. And if you don't know what that means, John Cena's movie Five Knuckle Shuffle, I'll give you a hint. It's when guys go like this. All right. I was like 11, 10, maybe 12 years old. She walked in. She goes, you know what that clear stuff is? You got pre-cum. You know what the white stuff is? Cum. You know what it does? Get a woman pregnant. That was it. I knew what was, I knew it, And me and Kristen was together for a while. I got kicked out of school around 2009, 2010, and I was in alternative school. And how I ended up in alternative school was I was 17 years old, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm a slow learner, but I think they put me in alternative school or special ed school to keep me away from everybody because I was a danger. All right. I remember doing the hearing test, a puzzle block, matching the picture to works. And what happened was I woke up one morning, found out one of my kin folks had passed away. And got to school, and Miss Radford, tall freaking old woman, plus a fat, daggum, thick, heavyset woman, was I guess you would call it an assistant teacher. But anyway, we got to the gym, and she would not let me sit down. I'm crying. I'm explaining the whole situation. She don't hear it. So I had a basketball, and we're in the gym. And I'm pretty sure everybody knows the gym's got 4 basketball goals, front, back, side to side. And everywhere I was slammed this ball up against the goal, assistant teacher was walking right there with it. So I closed my eyes and threw this ball as hard as I could. When I opened it, the assistant teacher was flat on her ass. I got sent off to 6 months in Birmingham, Alabama, at a place called Vaca on Roanoke Boulevard. And I started straightening up my life, man. I started reading the Bible, working out. I was in Weekly Hall. That's where you wear blue shirts and stuff. And I'll never forget one of the guards said, Tracy, get out here. He's like, I'm like, yes, sir. He goes, why don't you pour yourself a cup of Kool-Aid, sit down and watch TV? Okay. I did what I was told. The other inmates were pissed. Hey, man, let me get out here. I want to drink me some Kool-Aid. Every place I've been sent off, the bridge, Three Springs, anywhere I got sent off to was predominantly black anyway, except for Hillcrest. Hillcrest was a cakewalk. I'd rather go to Hillcrest versus anywhere else. Had a swimming pool right there. Right there. You'd be in this daggum room, and right there at the door, right there's a swimming pool. Indoor swimming pool, boy. That was like a vacation. But anyway, I went to Bailey Hall, which was orange shirts. And I still worked out, read the Bible. went to visits, and usually when I got sent off, I always cry, which I don't know why, especially after I saw my folks and reading the letters. I don't know why I would always cry. Like I don't know. I guess it was like you sent me here, and it just kind of tore me apart. But yeah. But when I was in Vaca, I didn't do any of that. I didn't cry after they left. You know, and I got the privilege and the honor to go to Epiphany, which is like a church group. I went to church every Wednesday and Sunday. Asked the pastor there that was doing a sermon, get, his advice on things. And but the other inmates, they weren't there for Christianity. They could care less what the preacher was talking about because every Sunday and Wednesday when they came, they gave you some cookies and a Capri Sun, and that's the only reason why people showed up there. Me, I'm trying to get the word in, trying to get my life right. And I remember going to the library and I check out Left Behind books, the adult and teen versions, comic books from Dragon Ball Z. And I go to school. And I remember asking the Lord, I said, let me walk a mile in your shoes. And I remember people throwing rocks at me, spitting on me. It was crazy. I really changed my life around that day. And then I broke my finger right here on 7/7/2007, July 7th of 2007. And I feel like I had a close personal relationship with the Lord. And when I got out of that joint, got a girlfriend, Kristen, things slowly started to fall downhill. Slowly. I couldn't take it. And when the house got taken away, and my mom and Tommy had to file for bankruptcy, ended up living with my grandparents, my cousin Jessica, a guy named Shaq, Houston Street, right beside the church house, Alex City, my real dad's biological father, which I got accused of a bunch of stuff, which I didn't do because I was outside fishing all the time. And I about fought him. Ended up living with a couple other places to end up in the PJs and, where they're at now. And then, yeah, but I ended up being over with 30 women. I quit messing around with girls my age because I got tired of getting my heart broke, and I thought, older women, man. I don't know where it happened. I don't know where it came from. I just went with it, because I thought, older women, they done had that lifestyle out of them. They just ready to settle down. They ain't got time for games. But I found out quick, older women will lie to you and play you no matter what. And I remember being on that daggone chatting app site, whatever, back in the day called Mbuzzy. And I met a girl named April. She was like 46 and I was like 18. And we was talking, had a lot of phone sex, and I got off on it. And she's like, why don't you come up here and move up with me? I'm like, hell yeah. She bought me the bus ticket, and I went to Grove, Oklahoma. Was drinking. She took me around a couple places. And she was a dipper. I ended up dipping all of her dip. I was there a lot, and she never dipped. So I did. It was Skull Apple and Skull Cherry. Drinking Evan Williams, too, boy. Which Evan Williams tastes like freaking water. I digress. But she was staying with a boy, a man, whatever. They like to be a guy during the day and a chick at night type of shit. They had no hot water, no power. They had LED lights, flashlights and whatever. And the only thing I ate was free Subway sandwiches. Crazy. I remember playing cards one night. This dude had his girl, chick, whatever the hell she was to him. April and me was playing cards, and the dude just kept getting closer to me. And I threw my hands up like, hey, buddy, I like you, but I don't like it like that. He got all pissed off and offended by it. And I remember him waking me up out of a dead sleep, telling me I had 24 hours to get my shit, get the hell out. I left I got everything except for my 4 albums of Metallica CDs. My Harley Davidson hat that was black. It was a straight bib, kind of like this one, and maybe something else. But I was sleeping on the streets. I remember asking a church club. I remember seeing a church club going on in Grove, Oklahoma, and talked to the pastor or whoever's running it, told him everything that was going on. Played a couple games. I won I think it was OU or OS, Oklahoma State, bag and won stuff. Had a lot of churches help me out, put me in hotels, even had some pizza. And after my time was up, I freaking slept on the streets. And I remember one guy was like, "Hey, where you going?" I had to tell this stranger, what was going on. He's like, "I'll help you out, but first I gotta take you to the police station, make sure you ain't got a record." Sure enough, went to Grove, Oklahoma Police Department, do a background check. I was clean, which I knew I was. And he took me to this construction site because he was a construction worker making the buildings, and he put me in a house that he was, working on. And I took a shower and I slept on the floor. Next morning, went to a church that he went to, and the pastor there gave me enough money to get my way back home. This was like 2011, 2012, somewhere around there. And I ended up getting back home. And it was my first time even drinking in Grove, Oklahoma. And I made a bet with the girl. If I said, "You got a bar around here?" And she goes, "Yeah, right down the street. It's Jake's Sports Bar and Grill." "All right." I said, "I'll make a wager with you. If I make you squirt, we go drink." She goes, "Bet." I made her squirt, we drink. And she knew the bartender, and I was drinking bigger there. But I ain't gonna lie, I was still heartbroken over Kristen. I love that girl. I know I did the girl wrong, but I'm pretty sure what my mom and her old man Tommy was doing was really affecting me. I was affected by everything that happened in my life. Nobody could fully diagnose me with nothing. I was diagnosed with ADHD, the learning part, and a few others. I felt like the medication was worse, and people automatically assuming I had an anger problem was even worse. My mom didn't even pay me to play football. The woman at the Bank of Daywood did it. Paid for me and my sister to do cheerleading football. And the only reason why they wanted me in football was to get my anger out, but that never worked. I was good at practice, but game time I kind of froze up. I remember knocking a boy named Chris Wardrop down on his ass. He was a tall son bitch. Like tall. And I remember when I knocked him out, Coach Bittner, Coach Woodyard, never forget which one told me to talk about his mom. I talked about this boy's mom, and I swear to you as I'm here standing. Sound like freaking the water boy. "You don't ever talk about my mom." Knocked me right on my hind end. And he was getting ready to freaking hit me too. And Coach stepped in and said, "Don't you do it. I told that boy to do it. I told him to do it to bring out the best in you. Now you don't do it." He was a good leader, Chris Walters. Now I ain't gonna lie, Chris, was a tall son of a gun. He even tried to help me. I kind of brushed him off, trying to show good sportsmanship. And again, I just blew it off. I remember on the parade, I remember this freaking curly-haired ginger boy, whatever, kept running his mouth, and I don't know what he was talking about. All I remember is, "You say another word, I'm gonna break your nose." By the time he said it was a free country, broke his nose right there, broke it. And I ended up going to mental health. When I got out, I was suspended. And while I was in mental health, come to find out, Coach Bitten punched the freaking referee and he got suspended, which was crazy. And the last time I saw Coach Bitten was when I was 16 years old. I'll never forget it. It was coming out of the damn marathon, out of the marathon store. And I yelled out, "Coach Bitten!" He looked at me and goes, "Who the hell are you?" Like, "Coach Bitten, it's me, Tracy." He's like, "Damn, son, you done lost a lot of weight. You used to be a fat son of a bitch." And he was freaking carrying freaking daggum, I think it was like Smirnoff, some type of Smirnoff alcohol. I'll never forget that as long as I live. Oh man. But yeah, I went through a lot of women. Got married when I was like 21 to a girl that I wasn't with long, Sarah. And if anybody's ever watched my YouTube videos from back when I started around 2012, 2013, 10 years ago, Sarah didn't want to cook, didn't want to clean. I couldn't go with her to her mom's house. I went to a few events. She didn't drive. She had a Jetta that was a piece of shit and wouldn't run. I mean, yeah, it was crazy. She'd always cheat on me. I remember going on her computer, like the guy she was sending pictures to, and her phones. I remember when I just turned 21, we was at her friend's house up on the mountain in Lineville. And it was a dry county, and other to get beer and get it back home was go to Oxford. But anyway, we was at her friend's house for 21st birthday. We just got through screwing. She goes, if you marry me, I'll quit doing this. I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. She went out and I picked up her phone. So she didn't have no lock or nothing. It's like she wanted to get caught. Looked at her phone, sure enough, pecker right there in front of my face. And I remember having my knife. I'm like, I'm about to commit suicide. Like, I ain't going to have it no more. And about that time, there was them type of knives that had like a little switch push, and you had to, you know. And I've done that, and I felt it, tug on something. I didn't know what it was, and I just went, when I did that, cut right there in my freaking arm, blood gushing everywhere. I had my shirt wrapped up, and Sarah's like, "What happened?" I freaking let it go, and blood just gushing. She's freaking out. Oh my God, what'd you do? I'll never forget what I told her. I said, "Be lucky you want your damn throat, bitch." I cut that thing anywhere 6 to 9 centimeters deep, and they had to sew me up. Yeah, being with Sarah was the worst, like the absolute worst. And I met girls, and I cheated on her. I ain't gonna lie, I cheated on her. And I remember I was on the phone with my mom talking, and Sarah's walking right beside me because anywhere we go, we walked on foot unless she borrowed a car from that old timer that she used to know. He had a cat, and they called it Adolf. Yeah, Adolf Hitler. And the reason is the cat was like white and black, and the cat had like a little black mustache right there, and they just called it Adolf. That's a good off a hoof. And we ended up helping him move. But anyway, we only borrowed his car, and that's where I took my test and passed it. Thank God I didn't have to pay for it because I had just renewed my license, and I went out to eat after got my permit. I mean my license. Damn it! I'll never forget it. The dude spelled my name wrong. It said Tracy Brady. I said, "You spelled my name wrong." He said, "Do you want me to freaking let you take the test again, or do you keep that name?" I said, "I'll keep that name." But yeah, yeah, I mean, got married to her. She wouldn't stop cheating. And as I was saying, me and her was walking. I'm talking to my mom. She goes, um, Sarah goes, you better not be talking to none of them bitches. And I did this right here. And by the time I did that, she acted like she failed and everything, called the law. Law shows up, and he goes, "Give me one reason why I shouldn't put your ass in jail." I said, "Look, if I was beating her like she's accusing me of doing, I said I'd still be beating her when you got here." And he said, "You got 24 hours. Get your crap and get the hell out." Like Sarah would always call the law on me. That's like I remember we was fussing one time, and the arcade place had opened up, and it was a truck driver and his truck driving wife had opened it up. And it was raining, and me and her was fussing, and I threw my ring, threw it, didn't care. And some other stuff was going on, and kind of worried me. I told Sarah, I said, "You can either come with me or I'm going to pick you up." Next thing you know, I picked her up like John Cena, and this girl had to weigh about 300-400 pounds, it seemed. 250 at the least, but she was big, some bitch. I picked her up, and as soon as I'm walking, I slid on wet grass, and she landed right on damn top of me. I ended up getting locked up and got out 12 hours. Misdemeanor, right? Anyway, went to court, and I'm shaking because, I can't stand going to freaking court. I hate court. And because nobody had my back, wouldn't take my case, whatever. In court, and every Wednesday, me and Sarah would go to this church that did a little summon, and you ate. I usually went in there, ate, left. But none case, I knew the guy there, and he was my attorney. If you can't afford one, want to be appointed to you, no charge. And he's like, "Are you guilty or not guilty?" I said, "I'm not guilty." And he kind of looked at me with disbelief, like I was lying. He goes, "Tell me why you're not guilty." And I explained to him the situation. Got back out. And the woman judge called my name. And, they asked the same thing, guilty or not guilty. And it was a city court. I told the woman I'm not guilty. Again, had to explain to her the situation. And only had to pay a fine. That was it. And, I knew me and Sarah weren't meant to be together because I think I met like 10 other women during the whole process. She didn't pay for the divorce. The guy she's with now paid for the divorce. And every woman I met, dude, just all the same. They said they can accept me for who I am. They lie. They say they don't do this, and it turns out they do. It just kept putting me further in the ground, And when I stayed at my mom's house, and when I was working, because I was working when I was 13, cutting grass, getting paid $20. But anyway, when you're working, you have to pay for everything in the house and do this and that and the other. Just crazy. I remember my last job. I went to Florida, paid for it, and even drank. Then when I got fired from another job, I bought a 30-pack of Natty Light and a fifth of Jack Daniels. I remember if I didn't give my mom a certain amount of money, she'd get mad as hell at me. Told me to get my stuff and get out of the damn house. I had to be my parents' parent, it seems. My mom's even sent me off. Believe it or not, she has. I was young and didn't want to go to church and ended up getting mad and breaking the back porch light, and I got sent off to the bridge. I remember when she called the cops on me, Officer Galoot, I'll never forget it. Called the cops, and this is back when they drove them Ford Crown Vics, black on the hood, white on the door, black on the tailgate. Not the tailgate, but the back end. Freaking red and blue lights. Throw me up against the freaking hood of that car, handcuffed me, threw me in the back seat, and like they was taking me to jail. I've been sent off all my life. I've probably been in the detention center 10 times, mental health over 10, jail 3 to 4 times, maybe 5. Yeah, I've been with over 30 women. I've been hooked up 2 times. 2 times with a girl. The rest of them I did online. I didn't have friends in school. I got bullied a lot. I fought back. And, there was teachers, principals, coaches see me getting tormented. And when I retaliated, they always took the person who started it side. And I always ended up suspended, in school suspension, after school detention. sent off the works. And that was freaking crazy. And while I was staying with my mom's house, I'd always stay in my room away from everybody, playing a game, making videos, meeting a girl, trading pictures, having phone sex, whatever. And I used to have several girls' numbers, just in case one quit talking to me, I had a backup. But don't ever do that. It gets boring. It becomes a headache real fast. I'm telling you. But in 2015, I made a Moco Space account, and I met this girl. I said, hey, and we started talking, and I became quite fond of her. I told her everything about my life, etc. And she told me that she had a husband that left them for after like 15 years or so. Had 3 boys and a girl, and Matthew, Michael, Sky, and Andrew. Sky was like 13, 14. Michael was 18. Matthew was like 20, 21. Andrew was 10. And Frank, was just her ex-husband, or the husband at the time. He was a drunk, a drug addict, an alcoholic. He broke Matthew's hand on the ranch when he was like 2 years old. Frank cheated on Jennifer with a guy and a chick when they was in Maryland. Left the kids in the house just so he could run next door, and the kids burnt the house down. They ended up down here in Alabama, and he just up and left. And I got with Jennifer, and things were good at the beginning. I cleaned the house, except for the kids' room and their bathroom. I did the cat's litter because she had Oz and Mustang. They were little baby kittens. I became fond of Oz, though. That was my buddy. I cooked, dishes, laundry, the works. Nobody told me to. I did that kindness of my heart. And I'll never forget me and Jennifer's driving. She gets one of them alerts on the phone where if her card's used or whatever, it tells her. Well, me and her was riding, and Michael stole money off the card and bought crap off the Xbox. And long story short, we lost our house because the company went bankrupt. New company bought it out, wouldn't let us make up the payments, and we had the money. It was Habitat, you buy the house, you pay a little until it's paid off. And the kids stole. They stole from me, stole from their mom, stole from my family, and I couldn't have a padlock outside the door because they found a way to break into it. Stole dips, stole some of my games I had. Sky tried to steal freaking my vapes I had. It was crazy. Like, it was a constant problem with these kids. Their father would call when we lived in Hollywood, bragged about where they was going. I've even met Jennifer's family, her mom and stuff, and they didn't treat me like family. They kind of reminded me of poisonous snakes. And then, like her kids weren't grateful. I remember when my birthday came, Jennifer bought me a fishing pole and some things, and the kids hated it. And we took these kids to go play tennis, go to movies, out to eat. And if me and Jennifer spent time together, they freaking hated it. Hated it. That's like we was drinking one night, and Jennifer allowed her kids to drink as long as it was in her house. I didn't agree with it. And remember, Lance was in Sky's bed, and I about killed Lance. I went after him with a knife. I was about to cut him. And Michael ran off with some dude, everything else. Jennifer was drunk, passed out on the floor. Micah, some queer, was trying to feed her crackers, and I'm trying to take care of her. I'm freaking dragging her to the bathroom. Gave her a bath, dressed her, laid her on the bed. She wanted me to screw her. I'm like, what's my name? She goes, tells me my name. I said, what day was I born? 30th. What month? December. What year? She goes, 92. I said, you're drunk. 91. Because I don't like drinking with girls because they get frisky, and I don't want the type of girl to get drunk, wake up next day and accuse me of something I didn't do. Okay. And long story short, in this relationship, I remember when we lived in the hotel after we lost everything. Me and Jennifer's wrestling. They ended up hurting Jennifer. I'm trying to get off Jennifer. Matthew puts me in a chokehold. I end up punching him in his ribs. I remember Sky hitting me. Long story short, I ended up going to jail 4 times, 5 times, house arrest. Lost my kid, had to get him back. Sky accused me of rape, which never happened because I've got the recordings and everything of what happened while she was laughing and telling everybody what was going on. Even told her boyfriend it wouldn't freaking. Sky had a crush on every damn body. Countless of guys. There was a white guy she was talking to that was older than her, 30-year-old, saying, dude was like, what's wrong, baby? And she's like, she was on Skype talking to this dude, saying that she accused and said this that never happened. Sky was pissed off because Jennifer was wanting to get all of them back, and Sky wanted Jennifer to ditch my son, or our son, that me and Jennifer had together. Sky's hit my son. Andrew has. I took care of that though. And even her kids were irresponsible with my son. I remember waking up trying to find my son. He's at the edge of the countertop, and I grab him and I cuss him out and tell him how wrong they are. It's like Jennifer's kids, they wouldn't take showers. They wouldn't help clean. I remember when Andrew was only living at the house, and me, Jennifer, and Bam was sick, and Andrew wouldn't even help. And it was me being sick as a dog, take care of my wife and my son. Like Jennifer's kids, I hate their behavior, their choices, and how they are. They rather choose somebody that hates them, don't want nothing to do with them. Because Frank, he didn't want to pay child support. He'd rather go off and screw, do drugs, and everything else, And, when you talk about this type of stuff, they want to play the victim, act like they're perfect little angels. And, me and Jennifer's are the monster, when it's the roles reverse, Her kids rather go off and be with somebody that don't give 2 flying fucks about them versus somebody that does. And they caused a lot of problems in this relationship until me and Jennifer slapped apart. Matthew and Michael has laid hands on me, and I fought back. Andrew was a sick son of a bitch. He was buying dildos and screwing himself in the ass. And he's a minor. He ran away from home, just turned 18, and moved around with different people, running his mouth to this person and that person. Found gloves that I'd use for, cutting my skipjack up for catfishing with my son's pull-up because he masturbated to my son's pull-up. I found out about it, and I took care of business. Jennifer's kids has caused so much problems. They don't care. They have no regard, no, regret about it whatsoever. Jennifer's kids, like she told Sky, well, I tried to make amends with him. Her kids only text Jennifer. They don't text me. They don't call me. They only want their mama for either money or for something. It ain't to say, hey, how you doing? It's just to use her or get information out of her. Her kids care nothing about her, nor me or my son. Period. But her kids moved out, and I started working 3 hours at a job, just a janitor work. People scare me, and I literally drove back trying to hit them. Even trying to hit a ice machine because it's scary. But Sean screwed me out of that job because I told the girl I already cleaned in there. She didn't believe me and snapped my head off, and I snapped back. I went home. Sean called me and pretty much told me I was fired. He took her side. No surprise there. And I started going to therapy and told the woman there my whole life story, like I'm telling y'all. And I got diagnosed with PTSD, bipolar, personality disorder, and they're wanting to find out what's other, because she thinks there's more wrong with me, and going to try to figure out what's going on with that. And she wants me to get put on disability because things are getting worse with me. I don't open up usually because nobody cares. I don't talk about my problems because I feel like nobody cares. World's going to hell. The majority of women and men only want sex and money. You got women that do OnlyFans. Nobody's ready for a relationship. Nobody wants to be friends. No, people would rather chew you up in their mouth and spit you out before they get to know you. The world's cold. I only know two people I consider a friend that I've met and talked to, and that has helped me throughout these years was ATM and Crimson. What's even sad is my mom can't even come see her grandchild, but she'll go see Andrew, and go to his freaking damn graduation party, but won't even step foot inside these doors to see her grandchild. My mom was a shit starter too. I'll just tell you that right now. She'd I remember when her and John would come up, because she got with John when I was 18, and she cheated on John. She went back to Dale Jordan, screwed him for money. She went to Randy, screwed him for money, and went back to John. Just saying. But she fussed a lot with John and everything. And I remember when my son went down there, I told my mom, don't be posting videos of him on TikTok. Don't be doing this. I'd rather him stay at my grandma's house. And my mom couldn't abide by my law, my rules, nothing. Treated me like I was a piece of shit. And I told her, don't be doing this. And she couldn't even do it. I call and check on my son. She tells me I'm worrying too much. I got a right to worry. Especially where the place you live at, there's nothing but drug deals and shootings going on down there. Okay. I got a lot to worry about when it comes to my son after all the hell I've been through with that damn woman. And you gonna tell me how to be a parent? I don't think so. And my therapist wants me to talk to my mom about my problems and everything else. And I told my therapist, there ain't no damn point. Because she's gonna play the victim, make me want to feel bad and cry. I said, I ain't doing it. Because she ain't going to take responsibility. Do I hate my mom and my sister? No. Do I approve of what they've done? No. But I'm not going to sit there and cry over something that ain't working. You're not going to buy my apology by trying to put my dad in my face. No way, no how. If you can go off and visit some scum of the earth that don't give a damn about nobody and hurt your grandchild, I want you around. Period. You live your life, I'm gonna live mine. Don't come knocking on my daggum door. That's how I see it. Because what I've been through is affected me. I can't go nowhere without looking over my shoulders because I hate being followed. I hate loud noises. I hate fussing. I hate fighting. When I hear a little kid screaming, a baby, a newborn child crying, I want to go kick the parents' ass because I think they're hurting the kid. I can't stand heights. Can't stand the law. Why? Because of my mother. It's getting to where I'm having night terrors. I can't sleep. Of course, that's been long time history right there. The only thing new is people scare me. I draw back and hit them. Of course, that really ain't new. I'm just scared of connecting the punch. Apparently, I've hit in my sleep. Apparently, there's a lot of stuff going on that nobody cares about. It is what it is. The reason why I don't talk about my problems is because nobody seems to give a damn. Or nobody cares. You know? Uh, I don't trust people as easy because I've had a lot of drunk people tell me, "Oh, son, I'm going to take you hunting." It never happens. I don't trust people because I've been let down too much. I learned about life firsthand and I had to learn it real quick. I even told my therapist how smart I am at life because I'm not really that good at books, schoolwork. And she'd agreed with me that I'm more headstrong, life smart than I am probably books. I've just been hurt for so daggum long, it's unreal. I even had a woman at Walmart follow me. Like everywhere I went, she followed me, and I had a knife, Mossy Oak knife with a sleeve that wrapped through your belt loop. She'd follow me, and I went to bend down and look at something. She went to bend down and look at something. I grabbed my knife. She threw her hand and said, "I ain't following you." Yeah, you were. I don't like being followed. If I can't even go take a piss. If the shower curtain's closed, I got to look behind it, see if there ain't nobody in it, and push it back. If I'm at a restaurant, I observe the whole freaking daggum restaurant. If I'm walking and I see somebody looking suspicious, I keep my own so I feel like I'm safe. My life and what I've been through, it's affected me. And I ain't got time for all the BS. I've had women say they was single, turns out they was not. They told me after we had sex, my old man's in jail or my old man's gone somewhere. Or they actually come to me while they was with somebody just to make their old man mad and jealous. How about you say what you want and be real about it instead of being a little brat kid? Because I ain't got time for games. If you trying to play me, you playing with the wrong one. You're gonna get hurt if you do. And I could be good as gold to a woman. Cook, clean, laundry, everything. But the moment you hurt me, I'm gonna hurt back. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. It's just a defense mechanism. I don't know where it came from, how it happened, it just happened. Yeah, I've tried to commit suicide. Yeah, I've done some bad things to myself in my life. I got very little people left that still give a dang about me. And the people that don't give a dang about me, don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. And don't you come trying to knock in my daggum door. Because the way I see it, if I was down and out and you wasn't there, but if I'm standing and you want to be around, I don't want you around. Because you couldn't be there with me through my darkest of times. The times I've cried out for help and you didn't help, screw you. That's the way I see it, screw you. You want to be around people that hurt your grandchild, hurt your son, hurt your daggum daughter-in-law, screw you. You want to choose them over the people that are going through hell, screw you. That's what I got to say about that. You know what I mean? Because I'm tired of people that likes to cause trouble and drama. I hate it. I hate it with a freaking passion. And then they want to play the victim and act like they ain't done a damn thing wrong in their life. I hate that shit. I hate it. And then people that act like they damn give a damn, but deep down underneath their scaly damn skin, they're as cold as a damn rock. Well, I should say cold as a block of ice. And I hate that stuff. I hate it with a freaking passion. I've made my wrongs. I've made my mistakes. I've paid for my mistakes. I'm going through hell because of the mistakes that I made and that other people made. I feel like I paid the price for people's mistakes as well as my own, while they get off scot free and don't get a damn thing. And I ain't gonna lie, I've read my Bible, I've prayed, but I feel like it feels like it's all the same. And when I have good days, I have good days. But when I have bad days, I don't talk to nobody. I'd rather be left alone. I don't want to be around nobody. And there's days where I would sleep and I would wake up, turn my alarm off, and I'll pass out and don't even know it. So don't you act like you give a damn when you don't. That's all I'm going to say on that. I've been through a rough damn life. I don't have time for people to have pity on me or act like they give a damn. And I need real in my life. Since I've been with Jennifer, she's helped support me. She's helped, she supported me with fixing game systems, fixing a phone. She's done more things for me than my own flesh and blood mother has, or any other woman I've ever dated or been with in my life. I'm just being honest. For those people that have watched this, you know everything there is to know about me, but I will tell you a little more. What's up, S? Or Sissy, I should say. But I will tell y'all some other stuff about me. Miles in Birmingham and Vodka. Danny Gamble for Alabama's Writers Forum. I did 2 poetries, had them published in the book. But they had to write your initials for confidentiality. 2, I do voice impressions. 3, I've been a gamer since I was 5. Owned every game console except for a few. Love to fish. Love camping. Love mud riding. I love to drive. I'm sorry, I don't know what it is about driving. It just soothes me so much. Love hanging out with my boy. Love that. Oh, not much. I don't like this generation of music, TV shows, and movies. The only thing I'm watching is Cobra Kai. That's it. I love cartoons and animes that I grew up with, the Tom and Jerry's and stuff, Dragon Ball Z, that sort of thing. As you can tell, you just look around this room and you'll see it. But yeah, and there's one person in this room that can verify I'm messed up. I had somebody scare me and I about slugged them. And I didn't mean to. It's just, I don't know what the hell it is. I've even told my therapist that. I even told him the situation while I was in Moulton, staying in my buddy's house. And I'm asleep, and Sissy scared me, and I about slugged her. I told her about it, because I know I need help. No normal person would do that, And I don't know what the hell it was. I don't know what it is. I've done it to Jennifer, But hopefully I get some answers soon because, oh hell, I mean, I'm already getting diagnosed with PTSD, bipolar personality, and therapist thinks there's even more wrong with me, and I'm dreading every time I see them because wonder what the hell they're going to say next. She knows I have PTSD for a fact, and that's why when I'm going to therapy here in a few days, she's going to have a colleague of hers that's more expertise in this department to come in and see what else could be wrong. But I'll be right back. I got to go get me another damn drink. My throat's dry. Don't be looking at my pretty ass as I'm walking out. Huh? All right, but anyway, like I was saying, I've been through hell and high water. It's a wonder I'm still alive. I'll be honest with you. And I ain't gonna lie, um, I've had night terrors where I woke up screaming, and there's days where I told Jennifer about it. She says it's high anxiety, but it's like when I go to sleep, it's like I'm losing my breath, like I'm about to die or have a heart attack. And I've had images of the Grim Reaper coming at me. And there's days if I make a mistake, it relives in my mind over and over again. There's days where I stayed up 24 hours without sleep because I'm afraid to sleep. I almost have Cam's world fixed back upside. Back up outside. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, my world's messed up. And when I was in Birmingham and Vodka when I was 15 and didn't get out to 16 because I was losing so much weight, dude. They'd have to bring cheeseburgers and Chinese food to give me gain weight. Thought I had an eating disorder, but I was working out all the time. Jennifer said the same thing, and my therapist has too, because my therapist, she was pushing me to give her answers on why I do the things I do. And I said, look, I cannot tell you except for my childhood. All that shit happened when I was a kid. That's like one of my kin folks, Chris Crouch. My sister said molested her. And I went up to him with a 2x4, about to beat his head in with it, and my cousin stopped me. That's one thing I don't play with is rape. I mean, why accuse somebody of rape? I mean, if it happened, yeah, they need their ass beat. But if you're just saying it to piss somebody off, you need your ass beat. I don't play around that stuff. I mean, my whole world's messed up. I push people away. I hurt people that hurt me, little kids. If I'm with a woman, she cheats on me, I hurt her. I ain't gonna lie, I feel like I'm a failure as a husband, uh, father, a friend, a son, a cousin, grandson. I feel like I'm no damn good because every job I get fired. Everyone I get with lies, cheats on me, hurts me in some type of way. I know it sounds god awful, but I'm just being honest. It's like nothing but failures happen in my life, you know. And I don't cry hardly anymore. When I'm having a bad day, I just shut myself out from the world. I don't talk to Taylor. I don't talk to ATM. Nobody. Somebody asks me what's wrong, I tell them nothing because I don't want them to know. I feel like I'm a burden, a pain in the ass, I guess. You know, because men are supposed to suck it up, tough it out, whatever. You know, act all macho and act like they got it taken care of. I don't feel like I'm a man because hell, can't help my wife, can't support my son. Hell, I remember saved up like $300 to $400 door dashing. Bought my son his birthday present, took him to Red Robin's to eat, trampoline park. Did what I could to make sure that boy had a birthday. And before I got fired from this last job I got, which was total bullshit because I did nothing wrong, I saved up close to a damn $1,000 and I went hog wild, bought my son Christmas, and got me a tablet, a phone, got Jennifer a phone. But the most part was my son had a damn Christmas. I made damn sure of it. And the reason why I want to bust my ass to work was because, hell, my mom never fucking worked until, like I said, I was 16 years old. And she worked for like a year or two. And then got put on disability. And before that, she was fucking guys and everything else, get money. Having a guy do everything while she did fucking nothing. Except for cook and clean the house. I never had a father figure in my life, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, how the hell did I become a father, you know? And there's days where I feel like I'm not being a good enough father to my child. I'm not afraid to admit that. I can't stand it when he's running wild and screaming. And I know he's just being a kid, but I just can't handle it. Guess it comes back to the damn childhood and me screaming. And my therapist told me in the last session, she goes, we need to know what you want to work on next time you come in here. I said, I already know what we're going to talk about. She goes, what? I said, the do's and not do's while I got this PTSD. She goes, explain. I said, what to drink, what to eat. She told me I need to lay off the damn caffeine. I was addicted to freaking caffeine when I was born because my mama wouldn't stop drinking caffeine. I even got a baby picture where I rubbed my nose raw. I feel like I didn't have a childhood, you know. My cousin, I'd hang out with him and we go to, you know, people we went to school with his house. Like Logan, you know, he taught me how to drive or was trying to. I didn't really have friends, you know. And I always wanted to have a vehicle of my own to take dates out and everything else. That never happened. Since I've been with Jennifer, I've been driving 8 years. I've been to Birmingham, I've been to Tennessee, I've been all over the place. And the actual people I got to hang out with was two people, ATM and Crimson. The only two people I went to their house, well, actually, I didn't go to Crimson's house. He was down there in ATM's house and hung around with. And it was the best time I ever had. And before that, I hung around Uncle Buck's house, but I was just playing video games, shooting pool. But the most I've ever been out was since I've been with Jennifer. Since my mom wouldn't let me borrow her car and go to work or anything else. But she'll let John, her boyfriend, who didn't have a damn license, wasn't covered by her insurance, drive a fucking vehicle. You will put dick before your own children, and that's fucking sad. What's even sadder is when I was going through some things here at the house, ATM, I was on the phone, I'll never forget it. ATM and Crimson was on the group call and on Facebook. And when you got friends that know what the hell is wrong with you, they know you. And like, Mudcat, what's going on? I told him what was going on, and ATM says, look, I'll come get you. You can drive back to the house. I'll let you drive the truck or whatever he was driving at the time. And I wish so many times I would have took him up on that offer. But me being a dad, I didn't want nothing to happen to my son, you know. Because I feel like if something happened to my son and I wasn't there, I ended up hurting myself for it. You know, I'm just overprotective. I've been overprotected over my son since the day he was born. The only person that could touch him was me and his mom. That was it. When they wheeled him out of the nurse to go to the baby, what is it, baby school? Whatever you call that room. The delivery room? Hell, I don't know. Another case, I was there. I made sure my son was there. Every time they wheel him back, I'll follow. Made damn sure of it. But I didn't like going to see my son get surgery done because it killed me. And, you know, when the doctors did it, I literally had to go to the truck because I get so stressed about it. Because I knew if something happened to my son, I always carry something on me. Don't get it twisted. I told my therapist, I said, this is how bad I am. I said, me being in this room, somebody was to break in. I said, I can make a weapon out of anything in this room. And I explained to her, I said, I can take that light bulb, smash it, and I got a good knife right there. I said, I can take a dang gun pencil and make it sharp where I can stab the hell out of somebody. I said, normal people don't do this type of stuff except for freaking veterans, military people. I said, I must be stupid. She goes, you need to quit telling. She said, I want you to quit calling yourself stupid and dumb and ignorant and all this other stuff. Because, you know, I put myself down a lot. And I told her, you know, there's a lot of things that I've fixed in my life, but, you know, if I was to see somebody hurt a little baby, I'm going to kill them. I don't care if they're a man or a woman. I'm going to kill them. I don't have time for empty threats. You know, if you say you're going to do something, do it. Otherwise, you're just talking shit. Hell, that's like a couple nights ago, over through the weekend. Somebody was yelling and hollering right in the back of the house. I grabbed my freaking bow, grabbed my crossbow, put it in the bedroom, loaded it up. Made sure the arrow and everything was right there where I needed to be. I wasn't going to play because if somebody was going to break in that house, I was going to shoot it. I don't play that mess. I choose a bow over freaking gun any day. You shoot a gun, people are going to know what the hell's going on. You get a bow, it's so damn quiet, you ain't gonna hear shit. Except for the person screaming. That's about it. But you can fix that with some super glue and duct tape. I'm just being honest. But yeah, it's crazy. Hope to see more gaming videos from you and Chris. Y'all make the best gaming content. All right, listen up, this is Captain Price. I'll be making more gameplays videos. Yeah, I'm planning on making more videos, gaming videos on Uncle Mudcat. The last gameplay video I made was like a month ago, and that was Donkey Kong Country. Plus, I got a new laptop, so it's compatible with Windows 11. So yeah, I'll be making probably more gameplays on that one. I just got to set everything up. But yeah, there will be more gaming videos. Trust me on that. But if I get down in the dumps, like if I had my days, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It seems like I have more bad days than good days. And when I have bad days, I don't game. I don't talk to nobody. I'm pretty much by my damn self. I guess it's the PTSD. Like I don't talk to nobody. Like a woman can flash me butterball naked, I wouldn't be in the mood to touch her. I'm just being honest. That's how bad it is. And I love to fish, but if I have my bad days, I ain't gonna fish. I'm not gonna make videos or nothing. You know. Believe it or not, this is my second video I've done today. One was on the Wild Willie's beard kit, and then this live stream that's going on right now. If you wanted videos, you should have met me 6 years ago. Because 6 years ago, we had a whole squad with us. We had ATM, Crimson, Crunkman, and No Prob. We played Call of Duty War at War. That's when I really started getting into Call of Duty, and I started playing 1, 2, 3, Modern Warfare 4, the works. I got all the Call of Duties except for 2. I'm pretty sure the Finest Hour was their first one. I could be wrong. You know I'm always here if you want to talk. You know how to reach me. I'll be honest with you. Crimson said that. ATM said that. My wife, people that have talked to me have said it. But if I'm having one of those days, like I don't talk to nobody. Like literally, I shut down. And this might sound stupid to y'all. I grew up watching horror movies. I freaking hate them. But I just got into recently watching SVU again. And it got to, like, I'm on the 12th season. Start away from 1, I'm on the 12th season. But it got to where the doctor got shot and cut her open, started seeing the blood. I couldn't look. But meanwhile, this old boy can gut a fish and everything and don't flinch. See somebody getting cut on TV and I flinch. I can watch a nurse draw blood out of my arm or sew me up. It don't bother me. But if I see somebody else go through it, it makes me cringe. Childhood, I guess. But I don't know. I've been waiting for Crimson to upload more, but I know his buddy wasn't doing so good. Actually, he's doing better. BVD is actually doing better, last I've heard. I haven't replied to Taylor yet, but he's doing good. He talked to him on the phone, I believe, over the weekend. Yeah, he's doing good. But the gaming squad has died. ATM, he had to go through a couple procedures. I'm not going to mention his mess, but I'm glad he's doing good. He got a better job. Don't know if he still games or not. Crimson, he games a little bit. But if Crimson's, I'll go ahead and tell you the price. If Crimson's old lady's around, you can hang up gaming. Okay, I'm just telling you that now. Because he's young. Once he's got that girl over, he ain't studying but one thing only, and that's poontang. And I know how it is because when I first fell in love, that's all I cared about. When she come over, we screwed. Oh, he just walked in the house? Hey. But I better check and see if she's home yet. But the only thing I've been doing over the weekend was grocery shop and played Borderlands pre-sequel. I've been playing that with my old lady because we played 1, 2, 3, and now we're on pre-sequel. Usually me and her play Call of Duty. That's about it. I'm done dipping. That's another thing I'm probably going to do. Quit dipping. If I had the money, I'd buy Outlaws alternative, see if that'll work. I don't want to quit dipping, but it looks like I'm going to have to. The reason I'll quit dipping is the nicotine raises your blood pressure. My therapist, I'll tell you a funny story about my therapist. I was just joking because I told her I didn't, not much. I told my therapist, I said, I'm not taking medicine. I'd rather be put on Mary Jane. And I've never done Mary Jane my whole life. She goes, it's probably best if you did. And she kind of looked at me and she goes, you know you've done it. I said, no, I haven't. I said, I might look like the redneck Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, but I have never touched that mess as long as I live. And I've tried everything. I'm not going to lie. I've done the Live Free dip that had like 2,500 milligrams of CBD, 0.3% THC. I've done the gummies that were just CBD. I've done the cigarette type deals with just like, they had like 3,000 CBD with like 0.3% THC. That did nothing. So, yeah, I mean, nothing works. You know, I've tried. You know, I'm trying to better my life and I want to make better choices, but, you know, it is what it is. You know, I've been live streaming for 2 hours. And I'm going to tell you, this video will not be getting taken down at all. I'm going to leave it up for however long I want to. It will not be deleted. I forgot this trash can needed daggum taken out. Hey, duct tape. Who's duct tape? I guess Christian. But, I mean, yeah. Here's how you can tell if I'm not in the mood. If I don't talk to nobody, I'm going through those days. You know, I don't wish this on nobody. I really don't. Sometimes it's hard for me to even talk about. Because again, the reason why I don't talk about my problems to anybody is the judgment. Nobody really cares. And I don't want to be a burden to somebody when it comes to, you know, talking about my issues and problems and what have you. And I'll go ahead and tell you, if I was single, I probably wouldn't date again. I just wouldn't. Because I don't have time for the games and all the BS that involves with it. You know, I think there's too many people out there that are into games and ain't ready to mature up. Don't get me wrong, I'm mature for my age, but I'm still a kid at fucking heart, okay? If there was a pregnant woman in here right now, I'd make her lash a hard milk shoot out of her damn nipples and probably out of her damn nose, okay? I'd even make the baby laugh inside of her. It'd be kicking the hell out of her. I'll tell you that right now. Um, if I'm having a shitty day, it makes me feel good to make somebody else laugh. I'm just saying. It makes me feel like I'm on top of the world. Um, I'm freaking zoning out, and that happens a lot too. I zone out. You know. I don't feel like talking about my problems to a woman. I don't know what it is. because I feel like a woman would judge you more. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying all women, but a majority of them. You know, I feel like uh, some days are better than others. You know, I wasn't. Hell, I ain't been myself in a long time. Hell, I don't even know who the hell I am. To be honest with you, a lot of things I want to do, a lot of things I want to accomplish, but you know, take it a day at a time. That's all you can do. What the hell is going on here? I'll be right back. Hang on a second. You okay? All right, buddy. Now I got a widget. But yeah, if I'm down in the dumps, you'll know. I mean, I get messages all day long, but if I don't reply back, just know I'm probably going through one of those phases or I'm busy. But I mean, yeah, I mean, things just ain't the same. You know, I don't know if they ever will go back to the good old days or not, but like I said, going to therapy, I'm trying to do the best I can, applying for jobs. Yeah, even if I did get disability, which my therapist really wants me to get a damn lawyer and every damn thing. She just had a baby and brings that baby to damn work with her all the time. Wants us to do this and that. We got to do 90% of the work. What the hell, I don't know, dude. I'll tell you this much. I've regretted everything I ever done in my life as far as wrong. I'll tell you that for a fact. A lot of people tell me, you got to focus on the good in life. I get it, and I agree. But the thing is, in my case, and what I'm going through, there's no cure for it. There's no cure for PTSD. There's no cure for it. The only thing they can do is help you cope with it. And like I said, in 2 hours, just about, I grew up in counseling, but nobody ever mentioned PTSD or nothing. And there's a lot of stuff that is reoccurring. It's like Cece said, there's a lot of things that I chose to block out, but slowly they're coming back to me, a little at a time. Uh, Cece named me one thing duct tape can't fix. A busted freaking water pipe, duct tape can't fix it. Freaking water pressure's too intense. It'll blow the duct tape right off. And it can't shut nobody up because you duct tape their mouth. You're just gonna. So duct tape ain't gonna fix that either. You know what they say? You can't duck it, then fuck it. But I don't wish this on nobody. I really don't. Um, and it's like I told my therapist. When I met Jennifer, none of those problems existed. It was like a drug. She was like my drug, and everything just vanished. But when her kids started doing their little bit and everything else, things just went downhill. Holes in his doll. What the hell? I ain't never heard that before in my damn life. But I don't forget where I was going with this, but hell. Hopefully, things will get better for me in my life. I really do. I've done a lot of stupid things in my life. Of course, everybody has. But I don't think people has done nearly as much as I have. There's always somebody out there that's been through a lot worse than you have. But I don't know how many more videos I'm going to make on this channel. Because again, I'm mostly making videos on I don't even want to know. But I'm probably just going to be focused on main on the Uncle Mudcat channel. I'm recording right now off the freaking Mac. I'm using StreamYard. What the hell? To do all this on. But I mean, if you got somebody that's going through a dark time, make them watch this video because I go ahead and tell you they're not alone. You know, nobody's alone. I really give people advice because when I'm going through, advice just ain't gonna work. I hate to say it, some things work better than for other people. You keep saying that kind of stuff, makes me want to freaking talk like Captain Price throughout the whole video. You gotta keep your head up, mate. Get your ass back in there, get in the game. It ain't over till I see it's over. Alright then, mate, let's go get the bloody bastards. I can't help it. Makes me want to freaking Captain Price all over again. I appreciate the comment there. The only things that help me cope with the mental disease that I got is making videos, playing video games, and driving, fishing. I keep my mind busy. But hell, it is what it is. I don't look for pity. Let's just get that straight. I just do this, talk about my life and stuff, just to get everything out. You know, because I know there's probably somebody else out there that ain't got the courage or the strength to get everything out. And the first step to recovery is admit you got a problem, or so they say. But yeah, we'll see. Is she even out of the truck yet? I'll be right back. I gotta go open the door. Hey, Bo. You let your mom in? If I didn't look outside, she would have been staying out there. But yeah, I mean, it's difficult to deal with this on a daily day basis. It really is. Um, like I don't know really what else to say besides the fact that it's difficult for me to go on a day to day basis because there's always something wrong. You know, it could be depression. It could be a lot of things. I fully don't know, don't understand it. You know, it sucks dealing with it. I'm trying to communicate more as far as my wife. It's what the therapist recommended, and I'm going to tell you, there's times where I don't want to try. I wake up, I try to, fight the day, but I'm going to tell you, it's like the more I try and the more I fail, or the more I get knocked down, it's getting to where I just want to stay down and not get up. And there's days where I don't want to live on this earth anymore. I'm just being honest, I'm not trying to look for a pity party. I'm just being dead serious. I just, I want to be free. I want to be able to enjoy this life while I still got it and live life with no regrets. But I feel like I'm so damn far damaged that it's going to be hard to repair. You know, I mean, the military, they break you down and rebuild you. I'm broken down. I rebuild myself once and I'm back down again. So it's going to take time to rebuild. It really is. You know, um, you know, it's just going to take a lot of time. It might take months, weeks, even years for me to get back on the right track again. Um, I wish I can go get a CAT scan done on my freaking head or MRI to see what's really going on in there. I even told my therapist that, but I can't afford that shit. But I do want to thank you guys and girls out there that came by and watched the live stream. Again, I'm not taking this down because in the future somebody wants to know about me. They're going to watch this video. And let's face it, not a whole lot of people's going to watch a 2-hour video of me rambling on, but they'll watch a 2-hour fucking movie. I got no filter. I just say what comes out. It is what it is. But, I'm trying to stay strong, and it's hard. The more I deal with it, makes me question, is life worth living at this rate, Because it sucks, man. It freaking sucks. For the past 8 years has been started off good, then it went straight to hell. But for those people that are wanting more gameplay videos, don't worry, I got you covered. It'll be on the Uncle Mudcat channel. The Uncle Mudcat channel, you ain't got to worry about cussing. You ain't got to worry about none of that mess. All you got to do is watch. That's more family oriented than the Big Country Mudcat channel, where I say whatever comes to mind. So you got a little one, or you're around people that don't like cussing, don't worry. Uncle Mudcat has got you covered. Just over there on that channel. I don't know. I just love making videos on that damn channel. Fresh start. You know what I'm saying? And it's anything goes. From life advice to fishing to gaming to reviews, all that good stuff. But and if you're easily sensitive and butthurt, you don't want to watch none of my stuff, okay? Because I'm just being real. As real as I can get out. I'll tell you something else before I continue. There's days where I think I did say it, but I'll say it again. I'll set an alarm clock and wake up. There's days where I remember turning off the alarm, and days I don't. And it's not long after I black out, I'm back asleep, and I wake up and I didn't even realize I passed out again. A lot of crazy things are happening, and I had no freaking control over it. It's bullshit. But it is what it is. I think I blame myself a lot for what's happened because I got nobody else to blame. The only thing I can blame is myself. Even though some things ain't my fault. What I went through as a kid wasn't my damn fault, but I still feel like it is. You know. And sometimes I feel like being good just ain't good enough, or trying ain't good enough, or trying to better yourself just ain't good enough. I feel like no woman wants a man that's on disability and only can work 3 hours and is mentally fucked up. I mean, think about how many military men and women or truck drivers out there that freaking got separated because their wife couldn't take it. I've been through so much hell, it's like I'm preparing myself for that day to come. And all hell is going to break loose when it does. I probably won't ever trust a damn other woman as long as I fucking live. I got a heart of gold, don't get me wrong. But hurt me and it's your ass. There's days where I wish I was on somewhere in Alaska away from civilization alone by myself. Because then you ain't got to worry about getting hurt, nobody calling you, none of that shit. It's like you face your demons right then and there, you know what I'm saying? Right then and there. It's sad to say, but you try to find ways to cope, you try to find ways to deal with this. And it's hard to deal with it. Anybody's got a family or know somebody's going through what I've gone through, it's hard. Hard to look past it. It's hard to wake up, put one foot in front of the other, fake a smile and act like everything's all peachy and cream. It's tough. And pills ain't gonna work. I remember one person saying alcohol will help. Alcohol ain't gonna fucking help you. People become alcoholics and then they freaking have bad side effects and everything else. You are a very sensitive man. I don't know if I agree with that one. People are gonna talk, there ain't shit you can do about it. But when it comes to hurting me, little kids, or people I love, I guess you can say I'm sensitive, but also I become violent. Just saying. I keep my problems in because nobody really gives a damn. A majority of people. I'm not saying all people, but I'm saying a good damn majority of them. That's just facts. I've seen this person before, but I don't know who the hell they are. Negative YouTube. I've seen them one time before, and they blamed that freaking my video games and stuff is the reason why I'm so like I am. Video games didn't cause a damn thing to happen in my life. If anything, they helped my ass. I'm pretty sure everybody just heard me fart just a second ago. I'm pretty sure they did. I'm just acting like nobody heard that. But Mudcat used to be the type of guy that was quiet and wouldn't open up about a damn thing. you know. But now, I open my mouth and people get pissed off, get butt hurt, get fucking offended. It's like, what the hell? You want me to keep my mouth shut or spill my guts out? But shit. I will say this: there ain't another man alive that's going to be as straightforward and honest with you like I am. I'm just saying. I'm a one of a kind, working on a full house. Ain't that what Garth Brooks said? Hey. There's days where I feel like my life is a storm. Thunder, lightning, strong winds, hail, heavy rain, tornadoes, just wrapped up all in one freaking big bow. And I'm standing right there in the middle of it. Then there's days where it's nothing but sunshine, no cloud in sight. Those are good days. Hell, I've been rambling on for about 10 minutes. All right, look here. If anybody want to message me, Facebook, whatever, go ahead and do that. I'm about to freaking end this damn thing. I'm freaking hungry, and I'm ready to freaking tear up a sandwich or something. But before I go, we're going to do some voiceovers just for the hell of it. That's right. You miss your daddy. Hell yeah. I humped everything in the White House, and I did have sexual relations with that woman. Hell yeah. Okay, everybody listen up. Okay? If life isn't going your way, fuck her right in the pussy. That's all I'm going to say. Okay? Hey, Peter, gotta have the big game. Oh my God, Joe, you have no freaking game. You're freaking bastard. Oh, bad. Hey, Peter, where's Stewie? I'm right here. Ooh. When's the last time you really got Find your penis $4. Find your penis $1. Find your penis here. I'm Captain Price. Say that, Chris. How's it going? Hey, homie, what are you doing? Nothing much. Jonas. I'm Marvin the Martian, and I will blast you with my ray gun. I am Wormstrom, and I give you the worst grade imaginable, an A minus. Rabbit. Oh, that rabbit. I used to do Yosemite sound pretty good. I can't do that shit no more. What's another voice I can do? Oh my God, what's up, Josh? How you doing? Kermit the Frog here. How you doing? I killed Miss Piggy. Oh, Kirby! I'm gonna get you, you fat bitch! Hey, bro, what's going on? Hey, everybody, how's you doing? And I'm Meat Royal. What's going on, everybody? Aquatine Hunger Force. Ohana means family. Oh, God. My throat is scratchy. Squishy. What the hell is that supposed to be? A freaking gremlin? All right, then. They turned me loose from the nurse hospital. Said I was well. All right, then. What's another one? Ted. Sounds just like Peter Griffin. You ever heard of a Boston girl out of an orgasm? Oh, yeah. Had it. Oh, my God. That was so good. And I'm going to stuff my fucking face with pepper spray. Fuck. What's another one? Shit. I do too many damn voices. God dang it, Bobby. Hey, Dad, I gotta get a fruit pie. God dang it, Bobby, you fat bastard. Hey, Peggy. God dang it, Bill. Man, daggone, talk about daggone, hey, man, gonna have a daggone sore bone, man. I never could understand a single word you said, Boomhauer. God dang legalese. I do not appreciate you calling me a terrorist. I am not a terrorist. Your wife is a terrorist. She pulled down her pants in front of me, and I saw a dynamite with the fuse hanging out of her vagina. Your wife is a serious terrorist. I tell you, you're not welcome back at my 7-Eleven. I tell you this now, buddy. I tell you this now. Oh, I am Japanese. I'm a big sumo wrestler. I scored you with my fat ass. I'm supposed to be a Japanese sumo wrestler. You get the gist of it. Oh my God, Valerie, that was so good. Popeye's freaking chicken. I am Christopher Walkens. I'm just kidding. I do all kind of voices. You get the freaking point. Enough to bug the hell out of you. And boom goes dynamite. Hey, Peter, what are you doing? Oh my God, Joe, I'm not doing anything. I'm shit over here, drinking a beer. You're drinking a beer, huh? Yeah, Joe, what the hell do you want? It's like 4 o'clock in the freaking morning, you bastard. Yeah, I just got off the shift and I was wanting to know if you want to go for a joyride. Okay, Joe, but I'm driving. Okay, Joe, here's another thing. How the hell can you drive if your legs don't work, you freaking bastard? Hello? Bastard hung up on me. But you get the point. I made voices. And yes, I have made voices in the bedroom. But that's enough. I've been rambling on for too damn much. Hopefully, you got a good damn message out of it. But again, y'all want to message me? I got Facebook. Holler.